Hey. We are going to do some logarithms today. This is going to be fun. This lesson I think is one of the most straightforward, quickest ones to do, so hopefully you'll like it. So we did skip 7-2. So if you're following along like in your textbook or your workbook, we did 7-1 last time. We're not going to do 7-2 because that had a lot more calculator stuff than I wanted to do for y'all. But we are going to do, this is 7-3, so don't think you missed something. And we're going to talk about logarithms. And logarithms, it seems like a fancy word, like it might be hard, but it's really just another way to write an exponent. So we're just going to switch up how we write a base and a power, and we're going to use the word log in there. So we're just going to go back and forth between exponent form and log form, and then evaluate a few logarithms. So we have three types of problems that we're going to do today. Okay, so let's just say that we have got a base and a power, and it's going to equal a certain number. So we'll say we've got some number b. It's raised to the power x, and that's going to equal something. We'll just call it a. So b to the x equals a. This is in exponential form. And what we're going to do now is we're going to write it in log form. Logarithms were used before we had calculators because they measured the power, and you can do operations with the power instead of having to do operations with the huge number. Like 2 to the 20th is a huge number. So if you were just using the 20 instead of that enormous number, it would make things a little bit easier to do. This is like exponential form, and this is the log form. So log, we put a little subscript b of a, which is on the same level as the log, and we say that equals x. So the things that are here in exponential form, the b, the x, and the a, are the same things that'll be in the log form. We just put them in a different spot. The b goes where the b is, the x goes where the x is, and the a goes where the a is. So this is log form. Okay. So we're going to go back and forth. Oh, one thing I want to show you, especially if you're going from log to exponential, I always start with my base like this, and I raise it to my x or whatever's over there, and then it's going to equal this. So I kind of loop around, and that's how in my head I make sure that I write this properly. All right. So the first thing we'll start with is we're going to go, let's go from log form to exponential form, and then we'll do the other. So if I had something like log base 4 of 16 is equal to 2, and someone said write that in exponential form, I'm going to think, so I have it in this form, I want to put it in this one. So my base was 4, so that's going to be my base. Okay, 4. And then the power is the x, right? That's going to come next. And so this is the x, so that's 2. And then that equals, let's see, the a value is what it equals. It's going to go here, 16. So you just look and see where the things were, and then you put them in that appropriate form. That was the b, this was the x, this was the a. So see how I looped around? 4 to the second is 16, and that would be your answer. Okay. Let's try one more of these. We'll put variables in it just so you can see what happened with that. Log base x of 5 equals y. So my base is going to be x. All right, my power is y, and then that's going to equal 5. So x to the y equals 5. So that's switching from log form into exponential form, base, power, what it equals. Now we'll go the other way. Looks like Loy, okay. So exponential to log. So they're going to give us an exponent and they want us to write it in log form. So we just have to remember where the things go. So if I had 5 to the third equals 125. When I write it in log form, log, the 5 is the base, okay, of 125, and then that equals the power, which is 3. So you can always double check. After I write it in log form, I always go back and circle around and see if I got it right. 5 to the third is 125, and so I did. Okay, now let's try one more. Let's say I have a to the b is equal to 12. So log, what's my base? A of 12 equals the power. So base, power, what it equals. A to the b equals 12. So that's switching back from log form into from exponential to log and log to exponential. And the last thing from this lesson is we're going to evaluate some logs. And when we evaluate logs, all we're doing is we want to find the power. Okay, so we'll look at a couple and I'll show you what I mean by that when we're finding our power. So if I wanted to find, for instance, log base 4 of 16. Someone said, figure out what that is. Well, I have to know what it means first, and then what I sometimes like to do is write that this equals some question mark, and I don't know what that is yet. Okay, so when we're thinking about this in our head, I'm going to write it as an exponent and then figure out what it is that I'm looking for. So if I'm going to write this as a, where'd my pen go? There we go. So I'm going to write this as an exponent. My base is 4 raised to the question mark. I don't know what that is. And that's going to equal 16. So 4 to what power is 16? So isn't it squared? So 4 squared is 16. So my answer is going to be 2. Okay, 4 to the second is 16. So you're filling up what power needs to go there. So the thing that should go in that spot is going to be a 2. So our answer would be 2. All right, let's try one more. So log, let's do base 3 of 27 equals, we don't know. So let's write it out, see if we can figure out what the power is. So 3 to what power is 27? Is it 3 to the first? No. Is it 3 to the second? No, that's 9. Is it 3 to the third? Yeah, 3 to the third is 27. So 3 to the third is 27. So our answer is going to be 3. So when they ask you that, you just put 3. So you're looking for what power? Base to this power is going to give you that number there. Okay? And that's all for this section. So hopefully that goes swimmingly for you guys. We're just switching back and forth, just as a little recap. Switching back and forth. Base, power, what it equals. Okay? Base, power, what it equals. Base, power, what it equals. Base, oopsie. Power, what it equals. Just going back and forth that way. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and hopefully this goes great.